So I am back. This is me, Dan97 here. Talking about the 2013 Chinese Grand Prix. If you have a look at my qualifying and my predictions for first, second, and third, got the drivers right, and I got Kimi Raikkonen right, coming in second. However, I didn't get Lewis Hamilton and Alonso right. I'll give you the full results now. And in first place was the Ferrari of Fernando Alonso. Second was Raikkonen. Third was Hamilton. Fourth, surprisingly, it was Vettel. Did a brilliant charge up very late. Fifth was Button. Sixth was Massa. Seventh, Daniel Ricciardo. Again, very, very impressive performance by him this week. Eighth was Paul di Resta. Ninth was Romain Grosjean. And 10th, picking up the final point, was Nico Hülkenberg. 11th was Perez, just outside the points in the McLaren. Again, quite disappointed with McLaren, I expect. And then in 12th, we had Jean-Eric Vergne, the Toro Rosso, whereas his partner came in 7th. 12th, still quite a good finish, I find. And I'll be looking forward to SRT or STR doing very well this season, hopefully. 13th, 14th was Bottas and Maldonado. Bottas leading the young uns, the recruit charge, as it were. Impressive so far this season. 15th was Bianchi, 16th was Charles Pic, 17th was Max Chilton, and 18th was Van der Garde. And then at the end of the race, we had 4 retirees. The first to go off was Esteban Gutierrez and Adrian Sutil, which I'll talk about later. Them two clashed on the second to last corner. And then we had Mark Webber. Very, very disappointing from Mark Webber. I'll talk about him more later. He went out with a wheel issue, as most of us can remember if you watched it. And then the last one to go out was Nico Rosberg with a suspension issue. So first, I'll talk about Vettel. I find he did very well this week from last week, or from the last race, where there was quite a lot of issues about it. He did very well. He came back this week. Good performance. At the very end, right on the end of Lewis Hamilton's tail, he only finished 0.2 of a second behind Hamilton, and it was quite impressive. He made a brilliant charge at the very end. But then we have to come to Mark Webber. So disappointing, Mark Webber. Not in himself, but just his general career this season. Obviously, last week we had him losing out to Vettel in a big, massive situation. And then this week, got disqualified from qualifying for not having enough fuel to submit, meaning he had to start from the pit lane. He then had an accident with Jean-Eric Vergne of the sister team Toro Rosso. And then obviously afterwards he went to the pit, got everything changed, and then all of a sudden had to drive slowly, started to pull in, and his wheel came off and rolled, or decided to roll right in front of his teammate. It would have been quite happy if it would have hit his car, probably, after what happened last week or last race. But Mark Webber, I feel sorry for the guy, really. Because it even got worse and worse. And he was given, at the very end, he was given a 3 penalty position place for next race in Bahrain, for that accident with Jean-Eric Vergne. And really, I do just feel for him. It's such a disappointing result for him this week. And then I'll come to the Adrian Sutil and Esteban Gutierrez issue. This was on lap 4. And simple as, Sutil was just driving along on the second to last corner, turned it. Gutierrez was trying to fight off Perez. And as he was trying to do that, I think it was Perez anyway, as he was trying to do that, he looked forwards, sees Sutil's rear end approaching quite fast, tries to brake and just fails quite miserably, going straight into the back of Suttle, ruining his rear wing. And Suttle comes in, but obviously such a bad rear wing damage couldn't be fixed that quickly, and he just got wheeled back in. But overall, this week, very impressive race, very clean race, good driving. Perez, I find, was a disappointment this week, falling back behind the grid. But I think the top four, Alonso, Raikkonen, Hamilton and Vettel, all of them absolutely immaculate driving, fought the way up the field, got put down because of pits and things like that, and fought the way back up again. And especially Vettel, after last race, he came back clean and did a good race. Button again, very impressive what he did. And especially Daniel Ricciardo, all praise to him this week. He would have to be my driver of the week. He did absolutely brilliantly, I find, finishing up so high. Yeah, this is the Chinese Grand Prix for you, just my little preview of it. So thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. And with any luck, I will see you next week for the 2013 Bahrain Grand Prix.